Hi, my name is Kayla Adams, and I'm a psychology major at Dillard University, and the field I want to go to is clinical psychology. And once I graduate with Dillard with my bachelor's degree, I would love to go to University of Houston, located in Houston, Texas. One of the things three major things that you need to get in there is 3 recommendation letters, a GPA of a 3.0. Also, you would need to have community service hours and things of that sort. Oh, also the GRE is excluded for clinical psychology. One of the ways that I was thinking about paying for is becoming a teacher's assistant. Once you become a teacher's assistant, it'll pay for 60% of your classes, which is about 23 hours. So that's a good thing. That's one of the things I want to look into. And also I need to write a letter showing who do I want to work with in that department. Once I graduate from there after I do my dissertation in Texas, you will need to take 2 exams. We have the FPPP, and then we have the jurisdiction exam for psychologists, and then I will need to apply for the psychologist associate. And then after I have been supervised for 2 years, I can apply to the Board of Psychology, and then I would become a psychologist. So I would love to practice psychology at Houston Methodist Hospital. I think it's a fine, great hospital. It's very diverse in their patients, and they really spend time with them, and they really get to the root of the problem. They don't have a lot of outpatients, so they really have the patient stay over and try to make sure that they are okay, they're healthy, they're safe to themselves and also to others. That's one of the main reasons why I want to work there. In Texas, clinical psychologists get paid $98,000 annually. So I think that's a pretty good wage. And one of the other things I wanted to do after I work at the hospital for a couple of years, I would love to be able to start a focus upon my own research, which is Black men, mental health for Black men, and how poverty causes mental health issues. One of the reasons why I want to look into that is because a lot of times in my community, Black men go unnoticed with their mental health issues. And so I would just like to show how the system is set up against them. So their journey is through poverty naturally, and it's harder for them to get out of that, so it's easier for them to develop a mental health issue. And then being a Black man is kind of hard to say that you have a weakness and actually converse that with a person that you don't know. So that's one of the things that I want to work on. Another thing is I want to work with schizophrenia patients. That's a person who overthinks, they have delusions. And one of the things, for example, that I was going to say is I was going to use classical conditioning, cognitive perspective on that. And I was going to use classical conditioning where, use a mirror, show them like if they think they see like bumps or roaches in their arms, I would just use a mirror to show them that, hey, that's not real, that's not there. And then over time, I would just like to condition them to think, every time you see that there's bugs in your arms, you should get a mirror to see that it's not there, to bring you back to wholeness. Another thing that I want to work with is OCD. OCD is when somebody obsesses over something, and the only way they relieve it is to repeat it or have a act out on a mental act. And for example, I was going to use the behavioral perspective, and I was just going to use a bunch of dirt, put it on them. That's of course after talk therapy, but after talk therapy and it's going well, I would use a bunch of dirt, put it on the patient, and just allow them to feel it out, allow them to act out as badly as they want to, just so they can see that, hey, it's just dirt, and you don't have to obsess over the thought of being so clean.